What's doing? Welcome back. We're back with the Dmax on the dyno for Intercooler. That's right, so we had the Intercooler installed, HPD, you've seen on the last video, there's a little insert here. So now the big dog's in, the little dog, what the hell, turn sideways. Look at that hairdo in the wind. The little dog's put the big dog intercooler in, so we're looking good. And then the transcooler should sit out here somewhere. And yeah, get all the plumbing in now. Getting closer. So you can see there we're installing intercooler and a transcooler. I should have got more data for you then on that run, but it was just time. So just trying to show more. So the transcooler, these things really do benefit from a really good transcooler and trans tune, but they also benefit from an intercooler. So what we have here is some numbers of what we've got before and what we've got after. So this here is our intake air temp in the actual ECU. This intake air temp is here is what we've got here today in hot days. So you can see here our last run, I'll bring up some black lines so you can see exactly what they are. So on a previous run, we had 30 degrees of intake air temp, but also 30 degrees of interface air, which is air here. So you can see that the intercooler is basically, it's working. So, you know, it's 30 degrees of atmospheric temperature here, and it's obviously then getting that back down to 30 after the turbo, getting it nice and red hot. But with the intercooler, today is a bit hotter than it has been previously. Obviously, in the shed, it's stupid hot today, and we're sweating our rings out. But anyway, if you're in the sunny coast or anywhere in Queensland, you know how hot it is. But in the shed at the moment, it's 38 degrees. So you can see there, but what it does is drops. So it drops our intake air temp to 33 degrees. So it's dropped 5 degrees of intake air temp. Power is obviously, not much in it. There's about the same. But it's not there to make you more power. It's there to make your peak power consistent. So even though we're, was it nearly 10 degrees hotter of intake air temp here, of ambient air temperature here, the power is the same. So if you were to go, across another ball and it's 50 degrees across there, it's going to drop your intake air temps down and make that peak power all the time. If I could get it on the same day, before and after, I probably should have. Maybe the next Dmax we do, or the next car we do, I'll do before and after so you can see. But this was done ages ago. I think it was in June when I did my last run, so it's a lot colder compared to today where it's nearly 4 degrees in the shed. So yeah, I'll have to do one back to back next time. But at the end of the day, the power hasn't changed much, but the intake air temps have dropped dramatically to create the same power. Now, a big noticeable difference is the cold side versus the hot side. You wouldn't believe me, like you barely touch this down here, versus here you could sit and play with this all day. It's nice. But what I'll do is I'll do another run now, and then I'll get my temperature probe from the dyno, and I'll tap on here, and I'll tap on here, and I'll show you the differences. So I've just got that temperature probe attached to my intake pipe, and it's just sort of hovering there now. So you can see it's 56 degrees on this pipe. That's on the outside of the pipe. So you can only imagine the air inside is a lot hotter than that, because obviously that's what's getting hot from the air. So it's 56 degrees, of intake air temp at that pipe. But if we take this off of here and we stick it onto this pipe, so I have my temperature probe on the intake pipe here, so we'll see what it picks up when we go on the screen over here. You can see here it's hovering around that 32 degrees. So big drop. So I know you're going to say I should be using a thermo, infrared laser thing. I know I should be using all these things, but I don't have it. But at the end of the day, HPD have got all the information on their website. This is just me confirming what it has. It's dropping, nearly 30 degrees of intake air temp across the intercooler. So that turbo is, obviously creating heat. The intercooler is reducing that heat, and it's dropping it down to what we're seeing inside the engine. So end story is it is working really, really well. Highly recommend. Not only do you then get good hard metal pipes, silicone joiners, you are getting an intercooler that is actually going to cool your air from here through your turbo, which is scorching hot, into here, which you can barely touch because it's red hot, through your intercooler, out here and into your intake pipe, which you can, like I said, it's room temperature, much better. So what I'll do the next one I do is I'll do a before and after run, a log, a heap of different things so you can see all the different stuff. I'll get a little infrared laser pointer so you can see what it's doing. I'll get someone to sit on there and hold on there while we're running at the dyno. So we get more data for you guys to show you how much this thing actually works. But like I said, they're not there to make more power. They're there to keep you at a constant peak power. I get asked that question, not just this car, any car. You're going to make a constant peak power because the car will pull power if your intake air temps are hot. So like I said, the Navaras, which I've seen them go to 70 or 80 degrees on the dyno, the car's pulling power. One, because the air's way too hot, it's going to do it anyway. It's not as dense, and there's two, because the intake air temperature goes up, it goes into a safety mode and it pulls power out of it. Whereas if you can keep your intake air temps 10 degrees, you know, below ambient, it's going to make more power because one, your actual air is actually denser because it's colder, and two, because the car's seeing a colder air, cool, we're happy at, we'll leave it at that and make more power. That's very, very simple in the way of how the ECU works and how dense air works and all sort of stuff, but basically, yeah, colder air, more power. That's as simple as it gets, and HPD do a really, really good job at their product and make it really easy. So if you have one of these, one of these, one of these, one of them, maybe not a Hi-Ace, but any other things that we have, any of the other things we have going on here all the time, they pretty much cover it all. Between transcoolers, intercoolers, you name it. You have to go to their website, have a look. But heaps of different makes and models, CAT scans, all that sort of stuff. They do it all with an awesome, awesome product. Like we're talking, you know, billet CAT scans, awesome intercoolers and transcoolers. Highly recommend. We fit heaps of them here. And I said not just to these, to Land Cruisers, to Hiluxes, to BT50s, whatever comes in the door, they're an awesome, awesome product, and I highly, highly recommend it. So if you're looking to make your car a bit more reliable, make as much power as it can constantly all the time, especially if you're towing, I highly recommend this package where we do a transcooler and intercooler. It keeps those intake air temps down to make power, like I said before, keeps your trans temps down to keep your auto safe, and your car's gonna be beautiful to drive, and you won't have to worry about it. Just load the trailer on and go for your holiday and have fun. So that's it for this one. Intercooler, highly recommend. Transcooler, highly recommend. HPD, highly recommend. But if you like what we're doing, want more information, if you want me to do another video, let me know, and I can try and get one we're doing before and after, and I'll get a laser pointer and I'll get someone to stand in the engine bay to show you more. If you're not interested in that, that's cool, but if you want to see more info, I can. We'll do that for you. But anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you like it. Hit that like, hit subscribe, leave us a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.